Ugh. What's going on, everyone? I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. It's Sunday at 11:30 p.m. Now, you know me. I'm trying to become the go-to mortgage resource. And so I went home. Well, actually, I had a really productive day at the office. And then I went to the gym, and then I went home. And when I was at home, I was like, man, I should just sleep. But I was like, you know what? I want to make consistent content. And I think the fact that I'm here making this video kind of shows you that I want to upload more and become the go-to mortgage resource, at least on YouTube. That would be cool. So what are we going to be talking about? Guys, I'm not wasting your time. We're going to get straight to the point. We're going to talk about financing a 4-unit building with FHA. So FHA stands for Federal Housing Administration. And the Federal Housing Administration helps with these loans. These are government-insured loans. So to make home ownership a bit easier for you guys. And I think everyone should know how to finance a 4-unit building, and especially someone who's looking to become an investor. This is a great way to start a portfolio of several units because the barrier to entry is really low. So, for example, do you know with bond loans, like a VA loan, you can actually go as low as 500 credit score? That's crazy. That is crazy. Now, not all lenders do that. I know here at Rate we do. Wow, that's incredible. We do that. We give loans to people who have 500 credit score. Yes, they have to prove alternative trade lines, but it's possible. That's a whole nother video. Let's the FHA is complicated. That's what I'm trying to drive, and it's here to help you become a homeowner. That's the purpose of FHA. So when you hear FHA, a lot of people think first-time buyer. No, it's Federal Housing Administration. You can get an FHA loan even if you're not a first-time buyer. Hold on, guys. I'm looking at my ChatGPT because it helped me write this video. Because if you're not using ChatGPT, you're lying. Because you're just not telling people. Okay, so we briefly went over with an FHA loan. Now let's talk about eligibility. You should have a good credit score. Now, and this is just in general, you should have a good credit score, and we're going to talk about how to build credit score. I see a lot of credit reports, and I could advise you how to get approved for a mortgage or have a good enough score to get approved for a mortgage. But we're going to talk about eligibility. So, obviously, you're going to need minimum 500, like I mentioned, but ideally, right, you want to be the mid to high 600s, at least, I would say, just to make things more favorable, and then we have a good rate. And you can qualify for your max because sometimes when your score is not strong enough, you're not going to be able to qualify for your max because AUS won't like it AUS is not going to like it. Anyways, so eligibility, you need 2 years of professional occupation, and you need, let's talk about credit score and income because a lot of people think like, well, when I apply for this loan, what determines whether I qualify or not? So we're talking about eligibility. Let's talk about eligibility. So what's going to determine why I qualify for what I qualify for and like why? I guess we're just going to answer the question why, right? I think that's a good question. So your credit score is going to determine which programs you can use as well as your interest rate. That's why I'm recommending at least being in the 600s. And with FHA, obviously, the credit score is minimum 500, like we went over several times, and I keep saying. But my point being is that just because it's that low doesn't mean that you should do that. Because sometimes you could end up qualifying for more because your score is higher. Now, that's based off AUS, which stands for Automated Underwriting System. Essentially, we fill out all information on our computer, run automated underwriting, and it assesses the risk of the loan. Sometimes if your credit history is not the best, it essentially doesn't give us an approval, and the loan has to be manually underwritten, which means you're going to qualify for less. Wow, I actually articulated that kind of well, I think. But regardless, I would say good score, 2 years of work history. That's eligibility, right? Now, I mentioned credit score is going to determine which kind of program you can use and your score and your rate. What is going to determine how much you can qualify for is going to be your income and your debt. So your debt to income ratio. And so, simply put, it's the relationship between how much money you have coming in and how much money you got going out, right? And we're looking at your gross income as well. At least in Illinois, I don't know how y'all do it anywhere else. I assume it's the same, but I don't know. So we're gonna look at your gross income, and then we're gonna look at all the liabilities. So with an FHA loan, you could go almost up to 57% total DTI. That's crazy. So that means 57% of your income could go towards debt, and which leaves gross income. Jesus. So that shows you how flexible an FHA loan is. So now, as far as financing a 3 to 4 unit, what are you going to need? Because we kind of already answered eligibility. Okay, so we know that you can qualify with 580 credit score. At least if you're going 3.5% down. Oh, I forgot to say that. If you're going to qualify with less than 580, you need to put less than 10% down. This is so much information in one video. FHA loans are crazy. But not if you have good credit score and stable job, like I mentioned. So 3 to 4 unit, you're going to need 3.5% down. And you're going to have to live in one of the units for 12 months before you could get another one. Or else you're breaking some rules. That's pretty simple, to be honest. I think that's not that hard, right? I guess if we're going to talk some technicals, you need at least 12 months of credit history. Just because you have a credit score isn't going to make you eligible. 3.5% down. I would say closing costs, man. You're gonna if you get no grants, down payment assistance, and nothing in that. If you're buying $500,000 building, you're probably gonna come out of pocket like $25,000 at least. I mean, 3.5% plus closing costs. That's kind of expensive. What else should I go into? Oh, you're gonna need reserves, so you can't just go to catch a close with nothing. You're gonna need 3 months of reserves for the mortgage. So whatever the mortgage payment is times 3, that's how much reserves you're gonna need aside from your cash close. What else should we talk about? I mean, we talked about how to finance a multi-unit. Oh, 2 things you gotta keep in mind. You're gonna need you could use projected rental income to help you qualify for the building. Wow, what does that mean? That means in the units that you're not living in, we can help you qualifying for the mortgage. So yeah, of course you can use that income, but do you know you can use it to help you qualify for the mortgage? I personally didn't know that. Some people would say that's common sense. Some people say it's not. I didn't think it was. I mean, think about it. You could use the building to help you qualify for the loan? What? I wouldn't think that. That's just me. But a lot of people don't know with an FHA loan, the building has to be self-sufficient. What does that mean? More specifically, pass the FHA self-sufficiency test. So what does that mean? What that means is that 75% of the rental income of the building has to cover PITI. Wow. So what if it doesn't? Then you can't do the loan. Wow. That's crazy. Ooh, I'm twisting my hand with this mic. And then also, how do you guys determine this rent? So you guys are telling me I can't buy this loan because it doesn't produce enough rent. How do we determine the rent? 2 ways. If it's already leased and we go by what it's being leased at, if it's not being leased or it's going to be vacant at the time that you take it over, what we'll do is whatever it appraises for. So they're going to do a material evaluation of the property, see what it's worth, and see what it could be rented for. That's crazy. What else? Man, I feel like I went over everything. Not in the best detail. To be fair, it's 11:30. I'm really tired. I just want to make the content because if I don't make content, then I didn't make content. Oh, fun fact. With FHA, you can negotiate up to 6% in closing expenses. 6%. So you're only putting 3.5% down, and you're telling me that you can negotiate up to 6% in seller concessions? That's pretty cool. You could go to the closing table without much money. Or can you? Because there's MRI. Damn, Christian. Who talks about MRI? You do. Minimum required investment. So you got to show FHA that at least you have the down payment. But can it be a gift? Yes, it can, because you're Christian raised and you know the answer. Anyways, you're going to have to at least show 3.5% in funds in order to close the loan, which is crazy, but it's true. So that's so much information. But all you need to know is that you could buy one building and help let the other units help you, and 3.5% down, and then you can move to a single family or a condo, or could you move to another multi-unit? That's a great question. What do you guys think? I'm curious to see what you guys think. What do you guys think? Can you move from a multi-unit to another multi-unit? If so, can you do a 2-unit, a 3-unit, a 4-unit? Wow. Christian, you're asking the questions that matter. Anyways, so I would say buy a multi-unit first if you're going to be a smart person. I'm personally not going to do that. I'm going to buy a condo first just because I'm not smart. I'm not a smart person. I want a condo, and I think it'd be cool to have a condo. And I can make cool videos in a condo. Anyways, I think that's everything. I'm going to watch this video and decide if I'm going to upload it or not. Probably, more than likely, I am, because I'm trying to become the #1 mortgage resource loan officer in the entire United States of America, planet of the Earth, of the galaxy, of the universe, of all time, BC. So I have to upload every day, and that's why I came to the office so late. So someone said I need to be more personal, so I'm going to leave you guys with a note. I'm really thankful for everyone's support. You guys are the best. And if you watch this far into the video, it's like, damn, you're obsessed with me, bro. You just say you love me, bro. You're fanned out. No, I'm just playing. I love you. But no, damn, I was trying to be personal one, and I couldn't think of anything to say. I'm kind of a robot. I worked all day. Not that that's a bad thing. I actually really love working. Guys, we had over 16 leads come directly to me over the weekend. That's insane. 16 families came directly to me. Jesus.